Before we dive into the NK Sherbet, let's do a clicky switch challenge. This is going to be a blind sound test between the NK Sherbets, the Kailh Box Jades, and the Kailh Box Pinks. Let's see if you can identify which is which. Stick around to the end of the video and I'll share the results. Three things in this video. We'll briefly go over the switch details. We will do the official NK Sherbet sound test. And then I'll sum up with my thoughts at the very end. So, switch details. The NK Sherbets are a clicky switch with a click bar mechanism. Cherry blues, Gateron blues, those all use click jackets to produce the sound. The NK Sherbets, as well as the Box Jades, Box Pinks, Box Navies, and maybe one or two more, use a click bar. It's literally a little metal bar inside the switch that makes the noise when you press the switch down. Generally speaking, these are preferred to the click jackets. Just in the keyboard community, and I agree with them, they produce a more crunchy or even scratchy sound, generally a little bit louder, and they generally feel a little bit better too. But last thing before the sound test, 45G actuation force, it's a light medium, 2mm pre-travel before it clicks, and then 4mm total travel, which I actually read on Reddit and a few YouTube videos, people bashing that. They're blaming that for why this switch doesn't feel as good. I sort of disagree, and I'll tell you why after the sound test. But I have nothing else. Speaking of which, let's move on to the official NK Sherbet sound test. All right, time for Pete's thoughts. Overall opinion, I like them. I don't love them. Why? Let's talk about sound and feel. Sound, they are more crunchy and louder clicks than like the cherry blues, but not quite as loud and not quite as like crunchy and metallic as the Kailh Box Jades, Pinks, Navies, Pale Blues, that sort of stuff. They're like right in the middle, plus with a scratchy sound. They are crunchy, clicky, and scratchy. Not scratchy necessarily in a negative way, like something's wrong. It's more like these were intentionally scratchy, if that makes any sense. If you like that sound, and I kind of do actually, especially the spacebar, you can hear a much higher click. Clicky, crunchy, and a little bit scratchy. Not quite as loud as the Box Jades, definitely louder and more satisfying than cherry blues. Now, feel. Some people just rant on this on YouTube, and I kind of don't get it. The NK Sherbets feel normal. When you type on the Box Jades, you know you're typing on the Box Jades. They're crunchy, they're thick. These just feel a little bit more normal. They feel good. They're not mushy. there's plenty of resistance there. I don't get the whole like, there's 4mm total travel distance compared to like 3.6mm. If my math is correct, and it always is, that 4mm doesn't really make that much of a difference to me. They do feel normal, not distinct and unique. And what other word means distinct and unique, like the Kailh Box Jades or yada yada. So Pete, you're like the mega keyboard expert. Which one would you recommend people buy if they're looking for a good clicky switch? I would say if you want something absolutely loud and very distinct, you want to go with the Kailh Box Jades. Most people prefer the pinks because they're maybe a tiny bit more subtle. I like the Jades. I like to feel those things. If you don't want to go that extreme, the NK Sherbets are not quite as loud, and they're just a little bit more like crackly and scratchy. I would love to know what you think. YouTube, KeebNews fam, head down below into the comments and let me know what you think about clicky switches in general. What do you like better, Cherry Blues, NK Sherbets, or Kailh Box Jades? Which is for you? I'm actually asking. I actually want some engagement on the YouTube channel. Drop me a comment below, and I'll see you guys next time. Okay, have a good day.